everybody, to another exciting episode of Multiplayer, the podcast by gamers for gamers. I am one of your hosts, Zach Matscanis, alongside Mr. Wrecking Ball himself, Javier Ortiz.
The non-emo kid on today's broadcast, for those of you who have not noticed, or for the podcast listeners. We got an emo kid on set right now.
Yeah, you can hear my haircut.
I can hear the angst.
Yeah.
It's hitting me right in the face. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone, do not forget, you can watch us on YouTube, you can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and now, we are now on Spotify.
Spotify.
Yeah, so you literally have no excuse to not watch our stuff.
Yeah, it's every outlet, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there's like smaller.
The big ones.
That's like the big boys.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, those are the biggest outlets.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's also just like Bob. You could ask Bob to like.
I don't like Bob.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of him.
He's like, hey, you want to listen to something?
Yeah, it's like Bob. I don't like your voice.
I ripped these
like
episodes onto the CD.
No, I don't like Bob. No.
All right. Well, and then, after you watch all that fun stuff, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/multiplayer, where you can, get some bonus rounds and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's,
stuff.
we have a lot to talk about today, so let's just get right into
Dive into a game I think we love.
Yeah, so I feel like we haven't talked about it on this show in a while. And
no, we really haven't.
Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but
I miss it.
Here on this show, we love Overwatch,
and
do. By God, we're going to talk about Overwatch.
I'm fine with that.
By God!
Favorite FPS game on the market for me personally.
For me too.
Yeah. I've never been a big first-person shooter, online multiplayer scene guy. Call of Duty, Battlefield, or Battlefront. Battlefield, Call of Duty. Those are the biggest ones.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Did you say Siege? Rainbow Six Siege?
No, that's another one.
Have
Rainbow Six
Halo,
Siege. Yeah, Halo.
Halo 5
completely forgot about Halo.
Yeah, Halo 5 still has a pretty big community
behind
it.
The entire FPS genre, multiplayer spectrum, never, ever, ever, forever have I ever been into that.
Yeah.
Overwatch is like the first one I deeply care about.
Yeah.
Mainly because it's so different. And speaking of different, that is the definition of different.
Yeah, so Wrecking Ball is kind of the new character that we're seeing. By the way, your mic, your little
flipped
collar
over.
is getting a little limp.
There we go. That's what I was afraid of.
It's still kind of falling, but whatever. Let's get going. So, so Overwatch and Mr. Frank Blizzard is his name. He
Jeff Kaplan, dude. Don't insult Papa Jeff. Jeff.
Sorry, Papa Jeff. So Overwatch, the team, they announced a new character, Wrecking Ball, or Hammond. I kind of wish they just went with the name Hammond.
Yeah.
It's like a funny name.
Better than the nickname.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not, I know some of the characters, or a lot of the characters really have nicknames, like Widowmaker and stuff. It's like
I guess so.
Junkrat, it's
Tracer.
It's like they all kind of have real names, but it's like, I sort of just wanted the name Hammond,
Yeah. Kind of like Winston. He's Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's his name.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's just Winston.
Yeah, and I feel like all the new characters. Well, I guess Doomfist has that's not his real name.
I would assume it's not.
It'd be kind of weird. A mother gives birth to a child. It's like, I'm gonna name him Doomfist.
The size of his hand. He is Doomfist.
But it's like Orisa, and Sombra.
Yeah, McCree.
Anna, they all just all these DLC characters. Not many of them had nicknames or whatever.
Yeah.
They just kind of had their names, but it's kind of weird to think about Anna or somebody like that as a DLC character.
It's not really DLC. It's
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's just after the game was already out. It's like, oh right, she came later.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's literally the game's 3 years old now.
Forget.
So or at least over 2 years old, I should say. So I just kind of want to talk about Overwatch for a few minutes, and Wrecking Ball looks like a super interesting character.
Yeah, the style's interesting.
Yeah, I've been wanting some new tanks in that game for a while now. But see, I've been trying to think of what a new tank would bring to the table.
Right.
And it's been kind of hard to figure that out. It's like, so we already have a couple shield tanks. You got your Reinhardt, you got your Orisa, a lot of shields going on there. And then you kind of have some Winston sort of has his kind of bubbly shield kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then obviously Zarya has her bubbles and all that kind of fun stuff. So, there's already a lot of like shields going on. So it's like, what else could they bring to the table? It's just different,
right?
Because it's like Overwatch, they're not gonna just do the same thing. They're gonna come out.
Yeah, no, super creative.
Yeah, and the moment the teaser came out where there's just a ball rolling across the screen, I was like, that's gonna be the character. That's exactly what the character's gonna be.
Makes perfect sense. Like he's just a bowling ball that kind of just. He can break that choke wide open.
Yeah.
Where he just kind of separates like Moses parting the Red Sea. Like,
They should have just put Moses in this game.
That's what I'm waiting for. That Moses DLC to drop. But yeah, like places like Eichenwald or what's it called? The London place.
It's called London Place.
Why can't I think?
Kings Row.
Kings Row, that's it. Another one, very strong choke, like right in the middle, like to get to that first point. But like, it's always so difficult when you've got really good teams that set up like an Orisa and a Reinhardt.
Yeah, like kind of the double shield, or something like a Bastion behind it.
How do you get past it? It's really difficult to just get your way through and survive the onslaught.
Right.
But it seems like Wrecking Ball is the answer to that, where he just kind of just blows through them all.
Yeah, I think he's definitely like just a very different character that brings just a totally new type of like skill set to the table, where it's just like, He's just like another kind of tool in the toolbox, as it were, where it's just like, man, we're having difficulty like getting through a choke, or you think about like something like the Eichenwald Bridge and wanting to like, like a team holding that, and it's just like it'd be cool to just have a character that can just push people out of the way and just knock people around, kind of like Winston's ult, just going around just knocking things out of the way. But in a character that's like all he does is like, you'll go into your ball, you use your crazy grapple hook, and you just build up a bunch of momentum, and you just start knocking people around.
Right. And like it's you've got like when you do it, you get like a shield buff depending on how strong your momentum is, I think, or depending on how many enemies are around you.
Yeah, it's about how many enemies are there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So you could have like 1,000 health essentially, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it's like a better, because Reinhardt can do that. Yeah. Reinhardt can charge in and just plow people out of the way. The problem is he's just a giant target with not that much health, and he just can get obliterated.
That's why, like one of my favorite things is like when Zenyatta, playing Zenyatta, is like when a Reinhardt starts charging from far away. It's like, oh great, just easy kill. Discord, bam, 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 you're dead.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it has to be paired with like a Zarya bubble to somewhat be effective, or else he's just dead. Like in an instant, he'll just die. Or obviously if the rest of the team's distracted and you just kind of come barreling in and nobody seemed to really notice you or whatever. But yeah, so it's just like, it's a super cool idea for a character, and I can't think of anything like it in like any game. It's just this no. I mean, it's
big ball.
He's extremely unique, and I mean that's what makes Overwatch so great, and that creative team that makes all these characters so amazing is because, first and foremost, Overwatch is a team-based competitive game. Yeah. You need strategy. You need different roles to be played. It's not just a bunch of dudes running around with guns.
Yeah.
Like you've got to have tanks specifically for, to counter the other team, or depending on your location, because, different characters play differently on different places. But it's so smart when you have a team like this making a character like Hammond, who's just a rat. Yeah, I mean, he's not a rat.
He's a hamster.
He looks like a rat. He's a rat in a giant mech suit.
I mean, look at his big cheeks.
Just giant cheeks with his big buck tooth. He's like a chipmunk.
Yeah.
Is he a chipmunk?
No, he's a hamster.
He looks like a chipmunk. He looks like the one Alvin and the Chipmunks, the green one. Theodore. He looks like Theodore, the fat one.
A little bit.
But yeah, it's awesome because he's also like a hit scan. Yeah. Where his dual guns, they hit scan really well. They don't kind of like spread at all. Like you can get some good, kill Pharah, and you can like break a choke open.
I know, right?
It's a pretty good combination.
It'd be cool to just it'd be cool to just like you go into your ball, you grapple hook up into the air, come out, and just start shooting at at a Pharah, and then just like pile drive back down onto whoever's like unfortunate to be right under you.
It's essentially you're a transformer. You're just
Pretty
running
much.
open. You just like swing. You Spider-Man swing yourself into the air. You transform. Get your guns blazing. You see fire. It's like doof, 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 and then you're just landing and you just do your dive bomb. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool character, man.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on him once he finally jumps over to consoles.
Yeah,
hopefully
definitely.
in like a month-ish, at least at the time of this recording.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, he's super unique and super cool, and like just that moveset is so different, and the character's obviously super different. He kind of looks like the droid from Star Wars. I don't remember what they're called, but it was like in the Phantom Menace, the first movie. They're the rolly droids, where they just open up and they
that was their name, by the way. It was just rolly droids.
The rolly droids, where they have a shield around them and they're just like doof doof doof. Like it's essentially, I'm like 95% sure that that's where they got this inspiration from.
You think so?
Because it looks just like it. He like the way it opens up, his mech suit opens up. It's like the same thing. Like it's got the dual machine guns on the side, and he gets a barrier around him. It just seems, in a world where people are inspired by other things and everybody copies off everybody. Yeah. Pretty sure that that's inspiration. I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. It looks a lot like it.
But so one other thing I just wanted to kind of mention with Overwatch and just like with kind of games as a service in general, it's just like it's super fascinating now that we're diving into like essentially year 3 of a lot of these games like Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, The Division, like there's a ton of games now, and I wish I could speak more about like Dota and stuff like that, but I'm not in that kind of world. Yeah. But I know people that play those games and they talk about those games, and it's super interesting. Like all these games as a service that they're just constantly changing and evolving.
I mean, look at League.
Yeah,
League of Legends is just it's old. How long has that been around? It's been changing for forever.
Yeah. And it's just like we're just getting to that point now where it's just like a game from like year 1 to year 2 to however long these games are going to last for. It's like they become drastically different over time. It's like Overwatch is a very different game than it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I know like Rainbow Six Siege and stuff like that is as well. And dude, I can't wait for some of these games that are like year 5, year 6, and like what they're going to be doing. It's like
it makes you think if it's going to have like an Overwatch 2. Like, will there be a sequel, or will it just continue to just be what it is?
We'll see. Like honestly, like I've put probably 1,200 hours in that game.
Right.
Which, part of me is like, wow, that's really sad. But another part of me is like, I've had a lot of good times with that game. And it's like, and it's fun to like kind of hang out with friends and play that game, and and it's like I don't regret it one bit. And I
mean, you shouldn't. I mean, if you're having a good time and you're not hurting anybody,
you're just like I regret all of this.
I mean, it's like I've met cool people online that like I'm new friends with, and like we're playing all the time now. It's great. I mean, it's it's.
But so it's like if there's an Overwatch 2, I don't think it's going to come out for a long, long time because it's like
it's like would they do that, or would they like make like separate expansions?
Yeah, I think it should just keep on going. It's just like PS5 drops and it's like here's Overwatch, but now there's like 12 more maps, 4 more characters. Like it keeps on.
But like you can't. I don't know. How does that work? Like here's 12 new maps, but it's a giant online game, so it's like. Only some people have access?
No, I think it would still like. I think they would support both for a while.
Right.
Just like something like. Oh shoot! What's some of the games that came out like Destiny. They're kind of like Destiny, where it's like that was a cross-platform game with 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and then PC. And then they supported both for a while, and eventually they just stopped kind of updating for those older consoles. And I think it might do something like that, where it's just like in 10 years, it's just like, all right, I think it's time.
Yeah, time to move on.
It's like if you're on these...
I don't know, but Overwatch, Blizzard is... How long have they been doing World of Warcraft?
That's true.
But like even that's like...
It's like a 20-year-old game.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just I don't like where does it end? Like how? I mean, they obviously they know what they're doing. They're very successful in what they do, and I wish them the best because all their games are really great. But it's just crazy to think about like where.
Yeah,
where's it gonna go?
Yeah, so we're getting to that moment in time now where it's just like these consoles are just powerful enough to just kind of hold their own for a long, long time if people choose to support them. And, It's like I wouldn't doubt in 5 years. It's like, yo, Overwatch is on your iPhone now. Good luck. I mean, it'd be weird, but it's like you could do it. It's not like as long as there's like a cloud-based kind of thing going on.
Could you do it? It's Twitch-based. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, you can just get a controller with it.
Yeah, but I guess you get your controller with your phone.
You know, it's
such a weird world we live in.
And actually, that kind of jumps us right into what I wanted to discuss next, which is kind of cross-platform play. And it's, man, like.
And how Sony is not for it.
Well, first of all, let me just say, the world of like cross-platform play has really transformed in the last like year here. It's kind of insane where it's like when Fortnite came to mobile, it kind of blew my mind. It's like, yo, it's on mobile, but you can play with the PC guys, you can play with the Xbox guys. Hey, guess what? It's on Switch now. You can play with the Switch guys. And all those just communicate with each other, which is kind of crazy. And Minecraft is like that.
Yeah,
and,
crossing servers and...
Yeah, and it's just sort of, we're at this just like point in time. It's like this technology is sort of crazy. It's like phones are like powerful enough to like hold their own where you could just play on your iPhone, and I mean you're probably not going to be as good because it's a touch screen, but you could play somebody on their Xbox One, you know, or on their PC or something, and it's just...
It shows you, and it also shows you, and I forget what it's called. I remember learning about this in college. There's a specific term for this. It might be Moore's Law or something. I don't remember. But it's the idea that every few years, technology, it's getting so much stronger and better, but it's also getting so much tinier. And video games is reflecting this like perfectly because Fortnite is a perfect example where Fortnite, you know, you play it on beefy consoles or beefy computer towers and you have great games. But you can also play it on a mobile device. You can play it runs just as well. You know, obviously the controls are a little bit different because you're using a touchscreen rather than controller or keyboard or mouse. But you're playing the same game. Like, there's nothing different. It's the same exact game. It's just on a tinier screen on a tinier device.
And it's kind of like, you know, big crazy games like Wolfenstein 2 coming to the Switch, like a handheld console.
Yeah,
it's just kind of insane.
Exactly. Like look at Breath of the Wild, the size of that game. Yeah. And how it's like, 5 gigs?
Yeah, something right.
Like it's like so tiny.
It's like dark magic. Like I don't know what Nintendo's doing, some weird voodoo stuff over there.
The amount of information and data that is being compressed nowadays into games, you know, whether it's Nintendo on their tiny little flashcards or still fitting giant games like Zelda into a tiny flashcard. God damn it, there's a dog barking.
It's fun.
But it's amazing how, you know, it's getting so much smaller and like crossplay is now like showing you like what's next, like what's gonna happen next in terms of like, you know, are we gonna have like tablets now running these kind of games?
Well, it's like I can't remember because I gave you the prediction on whenever we were talking about like kind of cloud-based stuff, and it's like that's where Microsoft's going. It's like they want their games on every platform. They want it on their Xbox. They want it on you know, the Microsoft Store, on the PC. Tablets. They want it on the tablet. Like that's coming. It's like it's a very near future.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine, he just bought a Surface Pro or you know, whatever the little tiny Microsoft things are. They're like half tablet, half computers.
The Surfaces.
He the other day at work, he was like he was basically done for the day. He was just finishing out a shift. He had his Surface Pro plugged into his monitor, and he was just running Overwatch. Yeah, perfectly. Like
that's crazy, dude.
Just nothing wrong with it. And it was just, and he was using like Wi-Fi as well, which is you know, it's not as great as hardwire, but it still is running silky smooth. Nothing wrong with it. It's just amazing. Like at this point where we're at, where like
dude,
the type of games you can play.
I was hearing stories about like, you know, how RE7 is on Switch now, but only as a cloud-based game.
Yeah, Japan.
And Japan. And they, you know, people were testing it with like an iPhone tether, and it's just running just fine. It's just like so you're getting the internet, you know, like you're tethering like your data with your Switch
to
run
your
a cloud-based game. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah.
But anyways, like kind of getting back to, sort of...
And Sony's against all that.
Yeah, and Sony hates the internet, apparently, and hates everybody and everything.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Sony hates the internet as much as Nintendo hates the internet. Well, no, let me rephrase that. It's like Sony hates the internet, whereas Nintendo doesn't understand the internet.
Sony does where Nintendo don't, or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, so, for the people that have been kind of living under a rock.
Sure.
So what's sort of going on in the news right now that we want to speak about a little bit is so everybody's doing this cross-play kind of stuff. Minecraft and Fortnite and Rocket League and all these games. They're on Switch. They're on Xbox.
They're on everything.
They're on everything. They're phones, PCs, potatoes, cats. Like
pretty much.
It's
on that notepad right there.
Your grandma's toaster, whatever.
Yeah.
Specifically, your grandma's toaster.
Yeah.
And all of them play super nicely with each other, except for Sony. Sony is just like, no, we don't want to do cross-play anything.
Yeah.
And everybody's super kind of butthurt about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And like, like Microsoft and Nintendo are leaning real, especially Microsoft. I think they've been trying to like earn some points back. And they're just like, like the whole like share your game kind of thing. As Sony just like kind of sort of slapped Microsoft around with a few years back. I think they're kind of repaying the favor, where it's just like, yo, what's going on, Sony?
Yeah.
We would love to play nice, but you don't wanna.
And it makes sense on both sides, like in terms of Microsoft and Nintendo, where like Microsoft's doing it to get back people into buying into the Xbox One, showing them like, look, we're dedicated to our games.
Yeah. And basically just earning back some street cred.
Yeah, exactly. And at the same time, Nintendo's doing it because they're like, hey, look, online, we're gonna get it.
Yeah,
like,
we're figuring it out.
It's like we're figuring it out. You're gonna be playing with your Xbox buddies, with your PC buddies. We're gonna do this for you. I promise.
We're getting there. Yeah. The year's still 2011, right?
Yeah. It's like
what is the internet?
We just got past dial-up, right? Like, but they're trying to prove that like they can hold themselves on the online competitive scene.
It's like we have now partnered with AOL.
Yeah, which AOL, they're still around. But I want to pull up the exact quote that Sean Layden had.
Yeah, lay it on us.
For Sony. So, we're hearing it, he says. we're looking at a lot of the possibilities. You can imagine that the circumstances around that affect a lot more than just one game. I'm confident we'll get to a solution, which will be understood and accepted by our gaming community, while at the same time supporting our business.
Yeah.
Which, to me, sounds like, look, guys, we want to do it. We're just scared because, we want to keep being the best exclusive market.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. If things worked out differently, this kind of generation of systems, and Microsoft was in the lead, the crazy lead that Sony has, this whole conversation would be flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Like 100%. The only reason Sony's not doing it is because why would they? They are outselling everything by just butt tons.
Yeah.
And it's just from a business standpoint, there's literally no reason for them to do it.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Outside of just keeping their street cred. That's sort of like the one thing that is sort of like, it's just like bad news for them right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to speak into how much work goes into this cross-play situation, like, making your servers friendly with other servers.
Apparently, it's pretty easy. Like,
I'm sure it is. Like in the day and age we live in, I'm sure it's like a flip of a switch and like, all right, you're good to go.
Like there was literally a day where Fortnite accidentally just turned it on this system and it was playing like Xbox One and PlayStation people together. And
so my thing is like, I'm not sure if they're going into that thinking like, we could allocate some resources to that. I'm sure there's upkeep for that kind of stuff.
Right.
He's like, maybe they're thinking, we could allocate resources to that, or we could just dedicate, our stance on single-player adventure campaign story games. Because I feel like Sony's at this point where they're like, that's what we are. And that's what makes us so great. It's like, people want to buy our consoles to play Last of Us, to play God of War, Horizon, all those games. Like, Bloodborne. They want to play those games. So it's like, we don't need to do crossplay as long as we have our firm stance on these single-player campaigns.
Yeah, it's one of those things, too, where it's like, you think about this from like a business standpoint, where it's obviously what you want to do is sell consoles. That's your entire business.
Right.
It's like you're dumping money into single-player games for the sole purpose of selling consoles, so that then once they have that console, they buy third-party games. It's it's the entire business.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a system where it's just like, let's say you have a PS4, your buddy has an Xbox One, you both have Overwatch, okay, and it's just like, I want to play with you, well, I want to play with you too. Well, you should buy a PS4 so we're on the same ecosystem.
Right.
And then you also have all these like cool games. But it's like, if you start this cross-platform play kind of stuff, then it's just like, there's no reason for that guy to buy a PS4. You've just lost a sale.
Right.
Because now it's, he's on his Xbox One. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And that's, I can see why Sony would just be like, no, why would we do that? It's like, we want people to buy the console.
Yeah, and if anything, I think if the crossplay for Sony does come, I think it comes next gen, where they're going to be like,
probably so.
Look, we're announcing our new console, and we still are going to continue our amazing exclusives, whether that's a God of War sequel, a Horizon sequel, a Bloodborne 2.
Oh, all that's coming.
Yeah, like if all those things are next generation things, what I'm saying, if those are PS5 things, then like, imagine like their E3 whatever year it is, and they're like, PS5, we're announcing all these great games. Oh, one more thing. Crossplay.
Yeah, and I could see them totally doing that because Microsoft would probably lean super heavily onto like, crossplay everything, share everything, power to the players, all that nonsense.
Yeah,
so if
exactly.
Sony just comes out and says the same thing, it totally like,
right.
Makes their whole platform sort of fizzle as far as like their messaging.
And I think they have to do that for their next gen, because honestly, whenever it's so weird. We've reached a point where like the lines are so
weird.
blurred with next gen.
It's very
because
weird.
like Xbox just released a new console, technically, so like I can't imagine they'd be rushing a new one. But if they are,
but they're coming. It's like people are already talking about like 2020, 2021.
And that's the thing. But the Xbox One X just came out. Like it literally just came out.
It's just like it's like the 0.5 version, It's like it's the Xbox S.
It's the strongest console on the market, right? So it's like how much
for now.
Yeah, I know that, and like these things constantly improve and all that stuff. So like whenever Xbox's next gen comes out, I fear for Sony, because this past E3, Microsoft showed us that like we're dedicated to having these studios that we just acquired make great games, and we're going to do more for you than just Halo, Gears, and Forza. We're doing a lot more for you. And so like whenever these next generation consoles for Sony and Xbox come out, I think Sony has to do this crossplay, because I can only imagine Microsoft's press conference for that year, because it's going to be fantastic.
I imagine like 2021 is probably when all this, like, I feel like that's when like Xbox 2 and PS5 are probably coming out, like that fall to winter.
Yeah.
So it's like 2020 E3. I can see Microsoft coming out now that like these companies they acquired are, they've been able to develop games for like a year and a half, something like that. So they're just gonna be like, here's a dope trailer, here's another dope trailer, here's another dope trailer, here's another dope trailer. It's just like, boom, drop the mic. By the way, cross-play, share everything. Buy a game, share it with 50 friends. We don't care.
Right.
Like they're gonna have like such this like this crazy message of just literally you're gonna buy Halo 6. You can share with all your buddies. Like one copy on your Surface tablet, on your PC, on your dog, on your grandma.
That's what they're going to be like. Look, and all of our Microsoft products, now you can link up to the Xbox Store with your account, and you can stream all your games if you have what's it called, the Microsoft what's it called, the streaming service they have?
Well, they have the Microsoft Store, and then their streaming service.
Their Xbox, I forget what it's called. but they have like their Xbox where you can play all.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Listeners, you know what we're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. But
you know what we're talking about so much we're not even going to say the name.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to. But yeah, like that product, that's going to be like another thing with their next gen. Be like, now we have complete synergy with all Microsoft products, where you can run all your games on different machines. So like, you can dedicate your console to like these main AAA, games that we're going to be giving you, like Xbox exclusives. You can dedicate your Pro tablet to online gaming if you want. You can dedicate your PC to all the backlogs if you feel like playing old school games. Like, they're gonna have this pool, and it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, what they're working up to is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
it's like in a couple years, like the Xbox as a brand is gonna look really good.
Oh, it is. It absolutely will be, because and it always comes down to this phrase that I keep saying, the blending of lines, where like, now it's not just Xbox, it's all of Microsoft. It's hard to imagine, because they're hardware first, like hardware, software first.
Right.
And then, games have always seemed like second, but now it seems like they're going to push for them to be like on par with each other.
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, Xbox as a brand has become such a huge property for Microsoft. Just like PlayStation as a brand has held up Sony for years now. There have been other departments like their like Sony studios and stuff that have just been like just hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
But like the PlayStation brand has kept them afloat, and I bet
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it's like I bet like, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would not doubt it if they're the Xbox brand is kind of doing the same thing, because things like Apple has really just sort of taken off with like iPhone and iMacs and all that fun stuff. It's like they've carved out a lot more of I guess the kind of computer world. There's a lot more people walking around MacBooks and stuff now. Versus the olden days where it's just who used a Mac? But now it's just everybody's using them. So I could see them just leaning heavily into things like the Xbox brand and using it as a platform for working on things like cloud-based services and stuff like that. And speaking of all that kind of stuff, another just giant,
a new fighter,
scary,
a new challenger approaches.
And it is a Goliath.
Yeah, really.
Google there's been some whispers that they're really trying to get more into the video game scene.
Yeah, codenamed Yeti is their project right now.
And I bet it's a monster.
Which would be cool.
So there's been whispers mostly about like a kind of a streaming game service kind of thing.
Yeah, so what the article I have pulled up says specifically, they're aiming for like a Netflix-style streaming service for games, which it honestly is a love-hate thing.
Right.
Because I don't like the idea of video game direction being towards the streaming market.
Yeah, I don't either.
The streaming direction, I really like. I am so opposed to that. But at the same time, if you give me lots of old school games that I can directly stream onto my device, like if you're telling me I can straight up stream Chrono Trigger on my device, I'll take that.
For like $10 a month or something like that. It'd be
things
cool.
like that it's amazing. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
Yeah, it's like I have very mixed feelings about the whole situation, because it's like, me, you know my collection over here. I'm a hard copy guy for life. Well, I know you're kind of in the same boat.
I love collecting the hard physical copies.
Yeah, and when it comes to games, like I just leave me and my stuff alone. Give me my room with all my crap in it. It's like, I want to hug it and kiss it and smell it. But everything else, it's like, movies, TV shows, I don't want any of that nonsense. Get the DVDs out of my life, throw all that in the trash, give me my Netflix,
okay with
my Hulu.
Streaming all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't want any of that cluttering up my life.
Right.
And I'm just, when it comes to video games, I think there's just a mental issue with my brain.
Well, you think about it, like the streaming idea, it really hurts the idea of video game preservation. You can't, like And what I think is a perfect example of this, and this kind of goes off the Google topic, but a perfect example of this is PT. PT was that, that demo that it was fantastic. I loved it.
The Silent Hills demo.
But like, if you don't have that saved on your console, it's gone. It doesn't
Thank
exist.
goodness I have it still.
Yeah, sadly I do not. And like,
wait, do I have it?
See? You see what this does?
God. No, I might not have it anymore because I switched PS4s.
So I don't think you have it then, because you can't re-download it because it's not there.
Oh my God, I never thought about that until now.
See, but this is a perfect example.
Do you still have it on yours?
No, I don't.
Jesus.
That's the thing. Like because
I'm extremely depressed.
Like back then, I never thought about that. Like I was just like, oh, it's a demo. It's gonna come out. But I never thought of saving it on my PlayStation so that one day I could play it again. Like now it just doesn't exist. Like unless you have a PlayStation or whatever console you have.
I did back up a bunch of stuff onto a hard drive. I wonder if that saved it.
You'd have to see. But like that's the scary thing about this.
That's so scary.
Exactly. So like let's say Google, they have their new streaming service and it's awesome and you can play a bunch of old school games and new games and you're streaming it directly to your machine. It's like, oh, we've got a new game coming out, a Google exclusive or whatever, and they make it. And it's like, well, I feel like this game has a lifetime in terms of like it's got a ticking clock. A ticking clock. It's like eventually there's gonna be a point where they just take it off. And it's just like, well, I can never play it again. So it's like that idea, I hate that idea. Like it's so scary because
it's pretty scary.
Yeah, like things will only live in memory, and it's just like, do you remember this game? Like, and then you've got like games that are just legends that like don't exist anymore.
Say sure, Grandpa. Sure.
Exactly, but like so again, it's a double-edged sword. Like that really scares me though. Like the whole streaming setup of games, like. It is truly just like terrifying to think of, and I just we just talked about it just now with PT. Like
I have to figure that out now because I'm that's super bumming me out.
Exactly,
I didn't think about that when I made the switch to my PS4 Pro.
Right, that's stuff you're not going to think because we're not used to that. That's not the world we grew up in. So we don't have that thought of like I got to Command S my console now. Like, I got to save everything.
Yeah, I mean I did back it up to a hard drive, which is just kind of sitting over here, so I'm gonna have to check that.
Check it out later.
But so it's just like it's a very mixed feeling kind of thing because the other thing is like there's already there's too many consoles already, or at least I should say there's enough consoles already. Having like another kind of player in the field that's like, we're making games, they're exclusive to our platform, like all this stuff, because there's been whispers of them like buying studios, and it's like, if you buy like I'm just using Ninja Theory as an idea here, where it's just like, if you buy something like Ninja Theory, I would be just utterly depressed forever. Like, with like Microsoft buying them, it's like, okay, it's like I'm mostly on like the PlayStation, Nintendo side, but eventually I'm gonna grab my Xbox and I'm gonna play whatever games I'm missing. But it's like, if you buy a studio like that and put it on your stupid Google platform I don't want, I'm going to be extremely depressed.
But that's also the weird thing about this, because if they do this streaming thing, right, and the article says that they're looking into hardware as well, so apparently there will be like their own box or something. But the thing is, like, if you're doing a streaming service, I'm assuming your new exclusives will be on there as well.
Right.
So, but if you did that, that means that streaming service would have to go hand in hand with whatever your hardware you have. So it's not an app.
Well, I think it's just like it's a cloud-based kind of thing where it's like you could either play it on, like, here's my prediction. I think there's going to be something like a Chromecast box, but it's like a Chromecast like Plus, where it's just like it's got a little more power and oomph behind, under the hood, essentially, where it's like a little more RAM, a graphics card, all that kind of stuff, and then like a Bluetooth controller and a remote, essentially, are the things that are on it. So you can have this box where it's like you have your Netflix and all that fun Chromecast nonsense that's already on there, but you also have this app on there for Google's, like Google Play.
Right. So it's exclusive to that hardware.
I don't think so. I think it's something where it's going to be on everything again. I think you're going to be able to get this on your phone. You're going to be able to download it to your computer.
But the thing is, like, if it is like that, then how can you have exclusive games?
It's just like Netflix, where it's like you can get Netflix on anything,
the Netflix titles.
but it's an app you subscribe to.
Sure.
It'll be like $10-20 a month.
Yeah, all right.
And it's like you're getting a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Like, you might get, just throwing nonsense out there, third party wise. You have like Overwatch, and you have Red Dead and Fallout, like all this nonsense, and then you have the Netflix style exclusives. You know.
But then but that makes me think: are they timed exclusives? Like, can I only play it for like a couple months and then it's just gone? Like,
well, I think like if just like Netflix, they're never taking their exclusives off. It's like Stranger Things is never gonna disappear.
Yeah,
it's like that's their incentive.
I don't know, but it's
for
still,
you to subscribe.
But it's still young.
It's true.
Like, what's gonna happen in 10 years? Maybe they will get rid of Stranger Things. Maybe they'll be. I don't know.
I feel like in 10 years it's all going to be Netflix exclusives because it's like everybody's trying to make their own app.
That's the thing. Like DC just announced their version of that as well.
But I think, Google, they're just like, here's a platform that like, all the power, it's on our side of things. Don't worry about that. We're just enormous. Like, here's the app. You can stick it on your phone.
Yeah.
You can put it on your Chromecast Plus. You can put it on your dog, your cat.
You're
your
really
grandma.
only relying on your own bandwidth.
Yeah, exactly.
Which this kind of makes me think of, because, oh God, everything just blends into each other. That makes me think of net neutrality. And net neutrality was revoked. So things are changing. Yeah, so like, and that's the thing, like companies like Google and Netflix and stuff should be fighting against that, because then at that point, if net neutrality is really truly taken away 100%, that means your internet's getting bottlenecked.
Yeah.
And so like,
but like, think about it this way, it's because Google has their own internet service now. So Google could throttle.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why don't we use Google Internet?
Because it's not here.
What? Where is it?
It's in like, I think Chicago has it.
What?
Somewhere in Texas, I think.
Can't we drive to Google HQ? Aren't they here?
Yeah, but it's all about contracts. It's like,
so stupid.
Like the only contracts that are here in Los Angeles are AT&T and Time Warner Spectrum.
Well, that's the same thing.
Now it's like the same thing, which is frightening. Like, our internet could just triple in price, but it's so it's one of those things that Google literally, like, you could have their internet and they could just throttle like your PS4 and your Xbox and just make it so it's like buttery smooth for their own service. Yeah, that's super scary.
No, that's the thing. It's that's why net neutrality is so important.
Yeah,
you've got like, anyway, we won't dive into that. Companies with their own agendas.
Other that's a
different topic altogether.
Pile of worms, monkeys, whatever. But
that's why this streaming thing is scary. Like, once you get into video game streaming, then all these other things factor into it, because now you're relying on bandwidth, how much you're paying for your bandwidth, and like what net neutrality is going to, if it's taken away completely, like what does that mean for internet companies? What are they going to charge for premium plans? All that.
Yeah,
it's so scary to think of. But anyway,
we're looking at a weird future where it's really hard to kind of see where, even 5 years from now, it's really hard to tell like where the industry's going. But it should be interesting,
I mean, at the very least,
it's going to be a wild ride. And I think at the end of the day, whatever Google's doing, whatever Microsoft, Sony's doing, I think is just we're going to be getting more and more games. There's going to be more and more interconnectivity and crossplay and all that kind of fun stuff. More cloud-based. There's basically going to be more access to more games on more platforms with more crossplay. And at the end of the day, I think it's best for gamers. It's like gamers are winning at the end of the day.
It is.
I think. Outside of net neutrality stuff, which is like that is a 4-hour conversation. Yeah,
that's a different beast entirely.
Just thinking about that makes me kind of depressed. So we won't go that route.
No.
So Stevie's telling me that we're pretty close to time here. We're already at 45 minutes. Did you want to?
Yeah, we can do our last. Yeah, we can do a real quick video game Historia.
All right, lay it on me.
Yeah, I will say one more thing. I went to Target this weekend. I got South Park Fractured But Whole. This like the gold edition copy with the steelbook case, $40. Apparently it's like $100 game, but Target had it for $40. So if you go to a Target, look for that. Okay, so I kind of thought of reworking this like 20 questions. Yeah. But I don't want to, because there are other...
Sure.
So I don't want to...
I got you.
Yeah, we could do like 10 questions. Because it's really hard to do this where I don't want to give it away.
Yeah.
So what if I tell you like 10, you can ask me 10 questions.
So we're just doing 10 questions?
Just to change it up a little.
I kind of like how we were doing it.
You kind of like it? All right, we can do it.
Because it's like, you give me a little bit of info, and then I ask a couple questions.
Yeah, so it's kind of blending it. All right, let's start off with the date.
Okay.
So North America date, not Japan, not Europe.
Nobody cares about them.
All right, so North American release date, June 26th, 2000.
2000.
This is a new Millennium game.
Okay.
We just got past Y2K.
Yep, the robots didn't take over.
Terminator did not happen. June 26th, 2000. It's an adventure game.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a very broad term. Adventure game. I don't want to give too much away. You can ask me some questions.
I'm just gonna guess right off the bat.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Majora's Mask.
Nope.
Because that came out at 2000, if I believe.
2000? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was 2000.
I'm trying to think like later dates in 2000. Like, I think Conker's Bad Fur Day was 2001. I think. Probably
maybe?
Something right in there.
Maybe.
Okay, so that's probably all the N64 games.
Yeah, really. PS1 had a lot of games coming out as well.
Around that time, PS2 was out.
Was PS2 out already?
2000.
By 2000?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. PS2 was out in 2000, dog.
Hold on. That kind of gives away, like... clear. Oh, well, it was. Well, October 26, 2000, though. So.
Okay, so I'm off by a couple months.
This is late 2000.
Okay. So I'm going to guess, since it's not N64, not PlayStation 2, I'm going to go with Dreamcast. Is this a Dreamcast game?
Ooh, Dreamcast. It is not a Dreamcast game.
Well, see, what else was going on at the time?
But see, now you're asking if it's Dreamcast. You got to ask if it's console exclusive. Not if it's Dreamcast.
Okay.
Because it could be cross-platform as well.
Okay, so is this a cross-platform game?
No. This is not a cross-platform.
Okay, so this is an exclusive. I'm going to go with PS1 then. Okay. Because that's about all that's left. Nobody cares about what, well, I guess Microsoft wasn't doing anything at the time.
No. Windows 98 had just come out.
It's a good time.
Oh, no, Windows 2000. Duh.
So late PS1 game. Ooh, so I'm gonna probably go with. It's probably one of the late Spyro or Crash games or something right in there.
It's a possibility.
Is this like a mascot game or something like it?
Like a.
Spyro, Crash, one of those kind of.
Yeah, I guess you can call it a mascot. A mascot for a company. Yeah, I'll give you that. Because I guess any exclusive character is a mascot, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's right. So I mean,
like Crash and Spyro aren't exclusive anymore.
Not anymore,
like
but back then they were. So they were mascots, like the same way Mario's Nintendo.
Yeah. So okay, so it's something like that for Sony. I mean, you had like adventure games, so it's like I'm thinking like the Ape Escape franchise, Spyro, Crash. What other like kind of mascot dudes do they have at the time that were in an adventure game?
Well, I will say, why are you so convinced that it's PS1? I never told you it was PS1.
Oh, I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're sold on PS1.
I don't know. Because you said it was.
No,
so was this a PlayStation 1 game?
No.
No. Okay, so probably Game Boy Advance.
Possible.
Was this a Game Boy Advance game? Jesus, what the?
How many questions are you gonna ask me?
I don't know. What else was?
There are many other consoles, other devices.
You got PC. There's a PC game.
Nope.
Jesus, I mean, In 2000, I mean, what else is there? I mean, there's...
Come on, dude.
I mean, N64, PS1, there's Dreamcast, there's Saturn, but that was dead.
Sega Sanshiro.
Advanced. I mean, unless we're talking about like the...
I think you've asked 5 questions so far, by the way. 4 of them making like guesses.
Something like the N-Gage or some nonsense. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, this is a recognizable franchise with a recognizable exclusive machine. I mean, it's nothing crazy.
All right, what's the system at least?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you what the system is.
It's
console exclusive. It's a mascot console exclusive. I use the term mascot loosely just because, I think...
but it's not N64, right?
What?
Is it N64?
It's N64.
Okay, so it is N64. Yeah. Jesus. All right. So I was like, there's no more consoles.
No, yeah.
Wait, 2000, N64...
So we're looking late in their lifetime, because I think GameCube came out in 2001?
I'm going to go with Banjo-Tooie.
No.
What else is around like 2000?
This game.
Oh shoot. So it's so late in the game for N64.
Let's see if I can give you anything without giving anything away here. Let's see. Well, I mean, you can ask me more questions about the game. 20 question style. You can.
Is this so it's an adventure game? So I'm assuming it's probably a third-person shooter, right? Or like a third-person.
It is third-person perspective. Metacritic gave it a 77. Game Fan gave it a 90%. Game Pro gave it a 4.5 stars.
So
IGN,
it's a pretty good game.
IGN
So we know it's not Glover.
It's not Glover. I'm gonna give you because you've guessed a lot. I'm gonna give you 2 more game guesses.
Okay.
You can ask a few more questions, but if you're gonna say, "Is it this game?" I'm gonna give you that 2 more times.
Okay. Jeez.
You've asked a lot. Banjo-Tooie, Spyro Crash.
Gosh, what else could it be?
Adventure
game. Paper Mario probably came out pretty late in the game.
Could be.
I want to say Paper Mario.
Nope.
Crap.
It's not Paper Mario. But I believe, let me just look up something about Paper Mario real quick, because you might be on the right line.
So it's right in that world.
Oh, never mind. No, ignore me. I'm gonna give you a hint.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a hint.
Hint me.
It's a side scroller.
Side scroller. But you said it was a third person perspective.
Side scrollers are third person.
That's no.
I mean, you're seeing your character.
Oh yeah, but it's like a third person game is like
that's third person.
No.
Well, then what is the definition of third person?
That's like a over the shoulder kind of. That's like Mario 64.
No, that's over the shoulder. Third person is you see your character.
No,
that's what that means.
Not in video game terms. That's a side scroller is a side scroller. That's a 2D side scroller.
I'm just saying.
Third person view is like over the shoulder camera.
Perspective. Third person is you see your character.
Don't give me that technical nonsense.
Fine, it's not a third person. It's a side scroller person.
A side scroller for the N64 around that time, around 2000.
Yep.
Oh gosh, oh man, what is that?
I don't know, but you gotta guess. We're running out of time.
Yeah,
One more guess.
I know I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
Yeah, you are.
I don't think I know it. What the heck is it?
You giving up? You're not even gonna go out with a guess? A shot in the dark?
A shot in the dark.
Just throw a dart at an N64 board and land on something.
I'm trying to think of all my games. There's so few 2D like side-scrolling platformers for the N64.
No, there was this one.
Oh my god.
It's not 2D, it's 3D.
So it's a 3D side-scrolling game?
I mean, all 64 games are 3D.
But I think you said 2D side-scroller.
No, I said side-scroller.
Oh crap! All right, I don't know. I'm all over the place on this.
You're not gonna give it a shot in the dark. You're not even gonna say like, is it Super Mario 64? Even though that's completely wrong.
I know it's totally not right.
Shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark.
Just throw something at me.
I'm gonna go with and I know it's not it. I'm gonna say The Sub-Zero game.
Wrong. Sub-Zero game. So I'm going to tell you, you have something in common with this character where you suck. It is Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards.
Okay, Jesus.
June 26, 2000, just at the end of the 64's lifestyle, Nintendo dropped this gem, or should I say
cool
crystal.
Game.
I still have it. I love that game.
And it did have like some, because it was a side scroller, but then they had some like some funky levels where you're like piloting your little starship and stuff. That
yeah.
Well, actually, I guess those are kind of side scrolling.
Yeah, they're all side scrolling because it's really.
But like, that one had like this.
They like changed perspective and stuff, but it all stayed side scroller.
It does some. That game does some cool stuff.
Yeah, but it was a cool game. I mean, June 26, 2000.
Yeah, Kirby
64. I mean, you know, the lightning and the rock power. You combine those, game over. You win. Yeah. Because you've got basically just a giant boulder attached.
I haven't played that game in so long.
It's a fun game.
But man, back in the day, I remember just really liking that game. Mm-hmm. Outside of like, there was one like towards the end of the game, it was like, I think it was like the second to last level. You have to like destroy a ship and you're like flying in your little star. And it's just like, man, that level was super hard at the time. And it just like took forever. Yeah, it was Kirby 64. I think it was a fun game. I remember playing that when I was a kid. There was a big snowstorm outside my house, and school was canceled, so I was playing that game, and my sister and my cousin were over, and they're like, come on, let's go outside and play in the snow. And I said, no, because I'm playing Kirby 64. That is the most vivid memory I have of that game, because it was the first time I heard the word antisocial. Because my sister told me, you're so antisocial because I'm playing Kirby 64 instead of playing outside in the snow. Oh, man. Good times. Good times. Good old antisocial behaviors. Yep, loved it. All right. Well, cool. We'll just end right on that. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for watching the show and watching me suffer through that. You suck. that 10 questions. I was gonna say like, there's a hint in this room, but that really doesn't give much away. Yeah, I know, right? But he's right there behind you. I know, right? He's right there. Yeah. You should be like, this guy's always got your back. Yeah. He's on your shoulder. Yeah. You're just like, this guy sucks. It's like, oh, who is that? Who is that? I can't believe I didn't think about that game. So it's like these kind of games, or like these kind of things, especially like on camera, like it puts you on the spot. Yeah. You're like, what is it? But yeah, so thanks everybody for watching. Hope you had a good time hanging out with us, all that fun stuff. Good times. Don't forget, you can check us out, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. You can watch us on... Nope, you can listen to us on Spotify. Yep. And be sure to check us out at patreon.com/multiplayer, where if you throw us a buck or two, any of that kind of fun stuff, you can get 2 bonus rounds a month. But, if you don't want to help on that, no big deal. You can still check that stuff out. Plus, everything is on Patreon. The audio and video is... Yeah, it's a cool spot. And, it's a nice app to have. Yeah, so, check us out on there. And, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. You can follow me personally at Zack Matzganis on Twitter. That's ZackMatzganis. Yeah, and I am at Jumpman_Ortiz for Instagram and Twitter. Woo! Good stuff. And just a quick shout out to our boy DJ CUTMAN for them sweet beats for our intro and outro. Good stuff. And for like our multiplayer bits that we do now, I love that little song that we got in there. Yeah, it's good. I like it too. It's a cool little beat. Yeah. And so check him out on his Patreon. I think it's just patreon.com/DJ CUTMAN. Yeah. And some cool stuff on there. He's always working on some awesome stuff. But yeah, so that's our show. Good times. And we're gonna be doing a fun bonus round soon, because 4th of July is right around the corner from this recording. So we're gonna talk about the best soldiers in games, and it's gonna be good. I think it'll be a fun one. Yeah. And we're gonna dive real deep into that. So look for that real soon. But until then, keep on grinding, and we will see you at the respawn later. Love you, baby. We'd like to give a big ol' special thank you to Jaden Lawrence, Arturo Madeira, and Murcha Dan Krolpatariu. If you want to receive shoutouts like these awesome, beautiful people, be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/multiplayer. See you next time, players.